About a decade ago, when I was watching America's Best Dance Crew, I remember one of the judges, professional musician and dancer Little Mama, exclaimed that some dancers are so particular that they have trouble with mirroring. I think I'm one of those dancers, because even something as simple as mirroring my vlogging style has caused me some concern. I'm used to vlogging this way. Today, just to throw things up a bit, I'm gonna vlog this way. And I really wavered back and forth on my knees for a couple of minutes before I settled on challenging myself today, and that's what I'm gonna do. After 160 hours of combined practice, analysis, and everything else that goes into performing and recording someone else's choreography, I'm here and I'm forcing an arbitrary stop point to this phase of the dance. I'm done. I'm done because, quite honestly, I've played the song so many times that I'm starting to hate it in some ways. Okay, hate's a strong word, but part of the reason why when I was choreographing my own choreographies I limited myself to 2 weeks is because I know there's this sweet spot with the song itself. In doing these projects, one of the nasty realities is that you're going to have to listen to the song that you're choreographing to over and over and over and over ad nauseum. So while I love Destiny Rogers' Tomboy song, I've listened to it too much now. And of course, this might seem like a bitchy little thing to whine about, but really, it can affect the way you perform the piece, because you want to capture yourself at maximal love for the song, so that whatever you're feeling portrays on screen. If you overbake it, you're at the point where I'm at now, where I still am fond of the song, but we're starting to get to the other side of like. The good thing is that I've been filming all throughout the process, so I'm sure in all of the combined times I've performed the dance, there are some good ones in there. There are some good runs. That's why I've done it differently than I usually would for my own choreographies. For my own choreographies, I maybe perform 3 times and take the best one. This one, I've just gone all in over repping, and I'm wondering where I'm at. Part of the problem is that my next project, I decided to bridge on to Cheshir Ha's choreography. Cheshir Ha choreographed for BLACKPINK's Lisa a specific block that I'll call the breaking tutting section, mixed with some hip-hop. The rest of her choreography is meant to showcase Lisa, and her range. So she ranges from hip-hop, breaking, tutting, all the way to erotic, exotic, and beyond, changing costumes into heels, and all of that. So I've done those styles of dance, but I think that I want to stick with my own style of erotic or exotic, so we are going to leave whatever pieces I've done to be on their own. To be honest, when I choreograph erotic or exotic, I usually do it in bare feet or simple sling shoes. Heels have never been my thing. Quite honestly, because I never wear heels in my real life. So I think the people who do well in heels are the ones who know how to work their body in heels. And those would be people usually who wear heels all the time. They know how their body mechanics work. And even though exotic erotic heels are different than normal everyday heels, there's still a lot of cross transfer. Yeah. First of all, I only have normal everyday heels. Heels for erotic or exotic are designed specifically. Yes, there are science, principles, physics, all of that within the design of heels, which I've done in a previous vlog a number of years ago. So suffice to summarize that the rest of Cheshir Ha's choreography I'm less connected to because, quite honestly, I've been concentrating on breaking and tutting for the pandemic, and that's what I'm interested in. So the challenge for me is choreographing around her choreography, my own choreography, but in the same style. Okay? Cheshir Ha had a specific goal to showcase range for Lalisa. I'm still thinking what my goal is, because I have no idea what my goal is. I'll think while I throw some moves down, and we'll go from there for this vlog. Yeah. Okay. How do I feel? though I'm sick of a song, I can continue to vlog to it. To add, when I comment that I'm done, what I really mean is I'm done the mimicry phase. So last vlog, I summarized my process, summarized in a 30+ minute vlog. So this time, I'll really try to summarize. Phase 1 was learning the dance in 2 counts at a time. So there's a total of 8 counts times 10 sets of 8, so 80 total counts. At 2 counts a time, that means I had 40 sets of 2 to learn, which, as I summarized last time, took me 40 hours just to learn the base moves by themselves. Phase 2 was performing all of the steps in sequence according to the choreography. That was another 40 hours, so we're now at 80. That was about the first month or so. All of the cumulative time after that, another 80 hours. Phase 3 has been me perfecting. Learning, performing, perfecting. There, I did it. I've actually summarized it succinctly. 3 phases: learning, performing, perfecting. The entire process has been 160 hours. 40 learning, 40 performing, 80 perfecting. This sounds ridiculous, maybe, that just to perform took me 80 hours, but to perfect took me another 80. So by perfect, I mean perfect, though. I mean screen by screen, comparing my recorded performance to BLACKPINK's LiliFilm at 0.25x speed, or even frame by frame. So that's extremely detailed, and that's something that you would hear out of professional coaches. You'd hear that from professional sports teams. But to me, I think it's important, because that's how you really refine your technique. In teaching myself to dance during the pandemic, I've noticed something. That thing is your body, after it learns the base steps, will start to develop habits once you increase the time, as in the speed at which you're performing. So obviously, when you're first performing, you slow shit right the fuck down. You might be counting beats slower than molasses. But as you refine, perfect, perform, and iterate these 3 things in a loop, you will increase the speed of the song, and your body starts to develop habits that might stray away from the original moves. And that's bound to happen because I call it your body mechanics and your mental shortcuts. Your body knows what you want to accomplish, and as you increase speed, it tends to fill in the gaps the way it wants to based on how it feels. Or maybe that's what's happened with me because I'm completely self-taught. So what you have to do is you have to allow your body to make these compensations, whatever they may be, and then you have to backwards compare on tape what you're doing versus what LiliFilm is doing, if you care enough to be that precise. Now obviously, if you take the YouTube covers that exist already, and you do a top-down, side-by-side comparison, you'll find differences. First of all, because everybody filmed differently, right? Lalisa had a professional film crew filming her dance from several different angles, and depending on the YouTube cover, some might be like me, one camera, one angle setup. Some might be one camera, two angles. Some might be two camera, two angles, and scaling up. So it'll be difficult to compare frame by frame the way that I've been doing, but you'll find differences just in filming configuration alone. And then when you couple with that technique, things are going to look different. As I explained before, though, the differences are fine because each person brings a different character to the dance. And I think that the character building actually happens after the perfecting phase. So for me, I'm at 160 hours. I'm at the perfecting phase. I've done what I've done to perfect it. I look as much like Lalisa as I'll ever look because I'm no longer investing time to do that part. What I'm now doing is I'm adding my own character. So now that I know what it feels like to do the dance as close to Lalisa as possible, I'm going to do the dance as me. Okay? And with me, I've already added a number of modifications starting in the perfecting phase, but now I'm going to amplify them. So one mod that I did is to do with costuming. Lalisa has a pantsuit that quite honestly is much longer than mine. Trust me, I dumpster dived through everyone's pantsuits and I tried on oversized, I tried on my own former C-suites, and this is the only one that works. And of course, I am only ever going to dumpster dive for costuming within my own home. I'm never going to buy things for the purpose of dance, so I am, for all intents and purposes, constrained by the costuming that I have. My jacket is probably a good couple inches shorter than Lalisa's. Lalisa's probably goes somewhere in the target area of the knees. Why is this important? Well, this is important because several times during the dance, Lalisa manipulates the jacket. Okay? That's part of the swaggy, steezy cool, and I love it. Trust me, if I had a jacket that long, I'd do it. Actually, I have other jackets that I can probably use later with costume swaps. I'm using this for now, but when I choreograph my add-on parts to Lalisa, I'm gonna switch up the costuming to amalgamate our two styles. So this is for Lalisa's part. I'm probably gonna do another costume for my parts. But the reason why the jacket matters is because when Lalisa throws the jacket as part of the choreography, she has a specific effect that she can attain because the jacket flows. It flows, it whips, it has movement and breathing in a way that my jacket can never compare to because mine's short. So for example, there's a particular move where she swipes the jacket back and she grabs to show and down, okay? Lalisa can do this because her jacket is long. Little motions throw the jacket and introduce movement in a way that just looks almost superhero-like. What I've done to compensate is I've decided to add arm movements to mimic that sense of movement. So whereas she can just grab and have the entire jacket flow, I am popping my arms. I am popping my arms. And I am popping my arms. So, for people who maybe have limited costume choices, you can compensate using other techniques. The other techniques would be things like I just showed you. Maybe using your body to compensate for costuming. Now, obviously, if I go screen by screen and compare me to Lalisa, that's a difference that I've made. But that's a difference that I've made because I have the constraints that I have to work with. Another one that I have started doing is, again, to do with costuming on the floor work section. When I go down to the floor to break into a coffee grinder, spinning down, the jacket again for Lalisa frames her body in a powerful way. And for me, my cheat is to actually button up. This is the first time I'm performing buttoning that part up, so I'll have to observe whether it actually has the intended effect. When I practiced dancing with no recording, I actually have the full camera setup as is, and I dance visually while looking without recording. So this is going to be the first time after today's session that I can observe what it's like when I make my modifications. Maybe after reviewing, again, 0.25x, frame by frame, I might decide that, I need to work on that, or maybe I'll be so sick of the song by then that I just want to move on. Coming back around to that idea, I'm caught. I think it really depends on a number of factors that have yet to happen, so I'll let that happen before I decide exactly what I do with the next phase of this project. Maybe the phase wraps up now, maybe it continues, but in a limited back burner way, I have no clue. So let me continue dancing and think about how I want to do this. Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna let that be because I've noticed that I may be quite shadowy, so I'll take that as some runs. If I'm skilled enough, I'll actually analyze and return within the day with a new vlog. Maybe I'll do that, maybe I'll do something different. We'll see.